One of the shorter videos that I essentially have that actually worked out perfect. It is now 9:59, and again, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. It is almost 10 o'clock. I do want to just again say thank you to all of the people who are here in terms of participating, but also I want to make sure that I'm critical and I thank all of the people that are going to be presenting. Again, this is a school day, and so particularly for many of us, well, not just a school day. This is a work day, and so I know folks are taking time off from work. Folks have classes that they're in between. They have all these things that are going on, and I just want to make sure that I tell you all, I really do appreciate you all being here with us and being here to connect and build with us in these meaningful ways. So it is currently 10 o'clock. With Dr. Perry is here with us. I see Ms. Fluker. I see Mr. Claybourne is here, and I may be looking. I may be looking over Dr. Hazlett. And so what we'll do is we'll just start. And Brother Claybourne, you already you just went. I know you may want a little break. And so what I'll do is I'll turn this over to either Dr. Perry or Miss Fluker, which one of you would like to start off this very next session. And of course, what I will do, so that I don't take any take away from your time, I will let you all introduce yourselves. In fact, earlier when we were in our 8:30 session, I sort of already talked about you all in a positive way, of course. And I essentially, talked about the work that you were going to be doing and that you would be presenting here. And so what I'll do is I'll just sort of turn my camera off and let you all just sort of go. And so if Ms. Fluker or if Dr. Perry, if one of you would want to start, and Brother Claybourne, that will give you some time. I know you just finished, brother, so you may want to go. I don't know if you got to go get some water or coffee or whatnot, brother. So we'll just let maybe Dr. Perry. I see your camera's on, so we'll let Dr. Perry jump in. Thank you all so very much again for being here with us. Peace.
I'm going to yield to Ms. Fluker and let her start off, because what I have to say relates to a lot of her work too. So.
Hi.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Perry. Thank you, Dr. Harville. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Harville for highlighting student services at this conference, because student services are very important. They help with the success of students. And sometimes student service can be a deal breaker for some colleges. So that's how important they are. I just want to share my PowerPoint. Let's see. Okay. Okay, can you all see that? Okay, perfect. So again, I'm Cassandra Fluker, and I'm the Director of Student Activities. And I'm going to speak a little bit about student life and what we do for students to help with their development. And I hope my internet doesn't go out, because it's been a little unstable lately. So if I go out, I'm just going to have to go back in. Dr. Perry, you can go in, and then I'll finish after your presentation, if that happens. Okay. But student services is student activities is a support service, and it also serves as a retention strategy. Students act on their interests outside of the classroom, and this adds meaning to their education and sort of gives them purpose, gives them more meaning to come to school, come to class. So it's very important that students are involved. Many times students enter college and they don't know what they want to study. They don't know what career they want to go into. So this is where campus life comes in. It helps them to discover who they are, not only as a student, but as a person, as an individual. It helps them to discover their likes and dislikes and so forth. So involvement is very important. Students learn outside the classroom as well as in the classroom. So involved students, they meet new people, they develop friendships, and because our student body is so diverse, they're introduced to diversity. They come to know different languages, different cultures, different ways of living, and different perspectives. So I'm really proud of the diversity that we have within the student body, because students learn a lot from each other. Involved students, they build college connections at a much faster pace. They soon know where to go for counseling, where to go for tutoring, where to go for academic advising, and speaking to other students. They know particular people that they can call and get help. Involved students build a rapport with faculty, and this comes in hand when students need to fill out scholarship applications or want to fill out applications to go to select universities. So faculty get to know students and students get to know faculty. And I always tell students to get to know the instructors, get to know club advisors, because they're going to need them one day. They can help them along the way. Involve students improve and gain skills, abilities, and use their creativity. A lot of students, they already come with creativity, but we give them the space to expound on it and do what they do. And all the accomplishments within student life can add to their resume to make them more marketable. And employers, they like to see students who are affiliated with club activities because they generally possess the skills that are valued in a workplace. So I always tell students, get involved, learn all you can learn, and try different things. And with this slide represents how valuable students are. We often call on students to serve on college committees, to do photo shoots, to do interviews on their college experiences. So this slide serves the importance of students. Without the students, we couldn't do what we do. So they are a vital part of the puzzle, valuable members of the campus community, and that's how we treat our students. Student activities is a playground for exploration, a place to discover, learn, and connect. Think of children when they go to a playground. First of all, they're amazed by everything that they see. They see swings, they see slides, monkey bars, seesaw, see the merry-go-round, and all the other things that are on a playground. So what they want to do, they want to try each equipment on a field and see which one that they like. So when they find an activity that they like, they tend to stick to it. So the next time they visit this playground, they're going straight to that area because that's what they like. And then they begin to see familiar faces. So when they see these familiar faces, they start to play with them because they see that they like the same thing. And then they build a relationship, or a friendship, I should say. And when they leave, they say, "Oh, I'll see you next week." So the playground is their meeting spot. So this is the same thing that happens in student activities. They can try different things because we have many opportunities. They try different things, and if they don't like what they try, they don't have to stick with it. They can try something else. And because we support creativity, they can create their own opportunity. So we have a ton of things that students can explore and find out what they like and so forth. So we have approximately 35 student clubs that fall in the categories of academic, cultural, faith-based, honor societies, recreational, and social and political activism. So all of our clubs, except for the honor societies, have open membership. No qualifications are needed, only the will and the interest to join. With the honor societies, they do have qualifications, a specific GPA, a membership fee, and the completion of a certain amount of credit hours. So outside of that, students may get involved and participate in a student club. We encourage students to take on leadership positions because this is where the greatest learning the greatest learning comes from. They can take on a leadership position such as president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and they learn how to make decisions. They learn how to make decisions, work with others, how to assess different situations, and so forth. We have two major groups, Student Council and the Mirror News, which is our student newspaper. And those are also open for membership. But students can't be part of Student Council and the Mirror News. It's a conflict of interest. And our clubs, they host and sponsor programs and activities of their choice. And my staff and I, we help them, support them, execute their ideas. We teach our students life skills, skills that go beyond Henry Ford College. We have presentations, workshops on a variety of topics that assist with their social, professional, and personal growth and development. So time management, stress management, budgeting, problem solving, team building, things of this nature. And our programming is intentional. So due to the pandemic, this whole year we were focused on mental health because we know students are experiencing a lot. We want to help them with their stress and anxiety levels. So we offer many presentations for them to participate in and get the tools that they need to survive during this time period. We do have one last mental health activity coming up. It's on April 29th. It's sponsored by the National Society of Leadership and Success, and it will be facilitated by one of our HFC counselors. He will go through a meditation exercise as well as a breathing exercise. And the student clubs, they have been guided to coordinate these programs so that they're open to the campus community, because faculty, staff, and community members need this type of information. And I tell them that we can't have enough of it. So the next meditation event, if you're interested, you may join us. You can go to the college's website and register for it. Okay, it's April 29th from 3 to 4. We encourage our involved students to attend leadership conferences. All of these conferences focus on networking. Students have opportunities to meet students from other colleges and other states. They learn about different topics. They learn about different careers. They learn about what other people are doing. So we normally send about 3 or 4 students to a conference, but because of the pandemic, we are able to send more students because we don't have to filter in the cost of transportation, lodging, and food. So we just pay for the registration fee, and students can attend the conference. So this is very valuable to their development. And we have a number of conferences that are offered to us throughout the school year. Okay, how can a student get involved? We have our Welcome Back Days event. It is offered at the beginning of each fall and winter semester. This event introduces students to the programs and services that we have for their success. They can participate in activities, and they meet the student leaders of student clubs, and that's how they get involved. They can complete a club interest form. They can go to the college website, hfcc.edu, under campus life, then student clubs. They can fill out the club interest form. They will be added to an email list to keep, so they can be informed of what's going on in student life, and they will receive information on the meetings of the clubs that they're interested in. They can contact the Office of Student Activities directly via email at studentactivities@hfcc.edu. We also have Instagram and Facebook pages that they can follow us on at HFC Student Activities. They can contact me directly at crf luker@hfcc.edu. Okay, so there are a number of ways that students can get involved and can contact us for more information. This is the student activity staff. Michelle Featherstone's my secretary, Mandy Earl, my student activities associate, and we're a small group, but we do a lot to help with the development of our students. So that's my presentation, and I will take any questions if you have any. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Any questions for Ms. Fluker at this time? Anyone? Okay, what we'll do, if we can just, I want to make sure I say thank you as well, Ms. Fluker. Your work is so important to what's going on in terms of the college, and we always appreciate everything that you have done to support the Black Male and the Queen's focus group. And I want to just say this: Ms. Fluker has been modest. She is unbelievable in terms of the leadership that she exhibits in terms of our particular campus. And so I just want to make sure I just give her a complete shout out, and we want to just thank you. In fact, Ms. Fluker was the first person to win the Dr. Henry J. Bowers Leadership Award that is granted or that's given from the Black Male and Queens Focus Group. And so I just want to make sure I say thank you so much for all that you do, Ms. Fluker. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Before we move on, if I may just quickly give a shout out to important. I always want to make sure that I mention this, and I appreciate everybody for being here. And of course, I will not be able to shout everybody out that is on our screen, but I thank you all for being here. But I do want to make sure that I say hello, greetings to President Calvaluna, the president of Henry Ford College. He is here. He has joined us. And for those who are visitors to our campus, that I say that his joining us, I've seen just to make sure that he can wave at us. President Calvaluna works with the not only the focus group, but works with various student organizations all throughout the year. So this is more than just a symbolic joining us. This is very substantive. And so in fact, when we're on campus, he constantly we see him pop into our meetings and things of this nature. So again, just want to just say hello to President Calvaluna, and thank you so much for joining us here. The next person that we'll maybe move on to, Dr. Perry, are you all set, my friend?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, marvelous. Thank you, Dr. Perry.
Thank you, Dr. Harvell. Thank you for inviting me. And I want to also thank Dr. Bowers, who actually hired me at Henry Ford College about 18 years ago, and who we were partners in crime in terms of developing the Democracy Institute Consortium over many years. And I also want to thank Cassandra Fluker, who's been working very close.
Okay, so they want me to call
I love Zoom. Thank you, Cassandra, for all that we do together collaboratively. So I'm kind of working on the nexus of the classroom and the extracurricular. And the idea of the Democracy Institute Consortium begins with trying to take non-self-selecting students who would not think of themselves as leaders per se, and giving them experiences that they would not otherwise have. And we often begin this work in our intro American government courses, but of course our activities are open to the entire college and the community. And I'm going to share briefly a little PowerPoint in terms of some of the activities that we've done over the years. And this is kind of a backwards PowerPoint, so I'm not really sharing with you the full scale of the PowerPoint as a presentation, but the Democracy Institute Consortium is aimed at trying to build civic literacy and community engagement skills for our students, but also for our community. And we have a lot of activities that we do, but I want to highlight a few of them. Going back to 2004, at Henry Ford, we've had annual student issues conventions where students collectively come together in groups and discuss what are their priorities that are facing their community, the nation, and the world, and learn how to advocate, build coalitions around issues, and vote on an agenda which they think are their priorities. This process goes back to the late 1980s. I was working as an undergraduate student and got dragged into this stuff at Wayne State. We used to call it the Urban Agenda conventions, because we were really trying to move the country's national leadership to mention our big urban concerns. Up until 1992, we did not have a presidential candidate of either party or even a minor party candidate from 1968 through 1992 mention the term urban at all in any of their presidential speeches. It was the urban agenda was absent from American national politics. And the idea was there were a lot of issues that ordinary citizens had that were just not being addressed. Ordinary citizens, in particular in urban and interrelated suburban communities. So basically, we had this idea that if we're going to have democracy, we have to give citizens the skill set of how to participate effectively. Last year, we had a Zoom national convention, which we're going to do again this year in mid-October, and that's open to students from around the country. And while obviously I'll share that information with Calvin, he can share it with everybody that's here if they want to have their students participate. But the idea is that this is sort of a kickoff point. It's not an end point, these conventions. They're a way of bringing people together and teaching them how to meet each other and learn from each other, not just they have all the issues. So what we often do in our classrooms is we start with a brainstorming technique where we ask them to discuss what they think are the most pressing issues facing their community, the nation, and the world. Then we actually send them home and we say, talk to your family, your friends, your neighbors, get some understanding there, then start doing a little bit of research, and then see what you think are the most based on this analysis. So you're not just coming in with all the answers, we're doing a little bit of exploration, real exploration of what people's real concerns are and their understanding of what those concerns are. So it's less formal academic, but we actually believe that this is essential for the democratic process. You know, if many of you had political science classes like I did, you came into the class and the teacher assigned you a topic and said, write a 12-page research paper on this because this is what I feel is important. Well, we don't do that. We basically let the students' voices be heard. And in that process, if you're, you know, if you were trained in any classical philosophy like Plato, and I start all my classes with Plato's Allegory of the Cave, is that through this process and learning about other people's stories, their experiences, their concerns, we actually start to get out of our own cave. And that has been a central aspect of the Democracy Institute project. Instead of learning a bunch of boring terms of American government, but you're learning about American government in a context that's real. Why are you learning about this? You're learning about this so you can become empowered. Empowered and is an essential step for being included. So you can be excluded from the democratic system, as we've seen throughout American history in many different ways. They can give you the right to vote, but if you don't know where to and how to vote, then you really don't have that right to vote. And I go back to 1992 when I was a graduate student working on this project at Wayne State University. And back then, we did not have what we call motor voter. You could go in and register your self-registration. You actually had to be registered by a clerk whether it be your county or your city clerk, or a voter registrar. And what we did was we had the clerks come in and we did a training session for 400 political science 101 students at Wayne State. We had the county sheriff come in and swear them in as deputy voter registrars and actually make IDs for them. And we sent them out throughout southeastern Michigan registering people to vote. And in that semester, we registered 28,000 people to vote with our 400 students. And our convention that year, we had our keynote was the Reverend Jesse Jackson. And Jesse Jackson met with us beforehand, and his emphasis was, don't vote for exercise, but exercise your vote. And too often, if you are not aware of this process, you either bail and don't vote and don't participate, or you exercise your exercise and don't vote. In other words, you're not knowing what you're voting for. So the idea is to empower our young people to start critically thinking about their vote, how they vote, how people should be representing them, and where their power was. And their power being engaging each other into networks, into coalitions to be stronger. From that, we've evolved into having weekly engagement nights with students, and this has even evolved into student lobby day, where before the COVID crisis, we had over 200 students go to Lansing and lobby over 80 state legislatures. So in this process, we're trying to create that engagement that is real and is sustained. And we've worked with, Ms. Fluker's office on voter registration. We've actually, we both got a grant this last fall. We hired our own students to hire, for students to recruit voter people to work at the poll workers, as well as to register our students to vote. And we were awarded a voter-friendly campus as part of that. There's a lot more, but time limiting, I think would like to stop at this point and either entertain any questions, and also knowing that there's two other presenters. So thank you.
Dr. Perry, we thank you so very, very much for your time again. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. We will go ahead and move. I don't know, Mr. Claybourne or Dr. Hazlett has joined us. I don't know which one of you would like to go next. Either one is fine. And then, of course, we're going to have time for questions toward the end as well. Dr. Hazlett, you want to go ahead and start?
I can.
Okay, marvelous.
I apologize. I was having some serious technical difficulties. We're having some housework here, and the internet is on and off when it gets plugged in. So, yep. I was unaware that I was offline.
I certainly understand. In fact, I just got through out of this meeting myself, and so I just got through out, and I was hoping I would be back in before Dr. Perry finished. So I certainly understand for being here and looking forward to a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Hello, everyone. I am the director of the Henry Ford Honors Program here at Henry Ford College, and we offer some really exciting opportunities for our students. We were initially created in 1974. And really kind of 20 years after that kind of came into being truly as a program in 1995 with the work of Dr. Nabil Abraham. And our mission is to take talented, creative students and provide them as many professional, academic, and personal opportunities as we can, depending on their goals. We have dedicated honors classes that are small in nature. We have interdisciplinary colloquia. We have one that always runs on the history and culture of Detroit, and then a rotating colloquia that this year's on climate change. The colloquia before that was on forensic chemistry and criminal justice. So it's always interesting topics. But we also take the students into the great works in classes like great books, but we also look at tailoring the education to the students' goals and their professional aspirations. We have students that seek Ivy League admission, and I work to try to help make that happen. We have programs with University of Michigan, Wayne State, and Albion College for incoming freshmen. We also have transfer opportunities that we're building with Eastern Michigan's honors program, and the honors programs at, again, the schools that the students have told me to check out. So I'll be pursuing Michigan State and Central this coming fall. So the whole purpose of the honors program, again, is to help these students achieve their goals and their aspirations. But as I mentioned, one of the kind of more important ways that we do that is connecting students with mentorships. They have a faculty mentor that is assigned to them that oversees a creation of a professional resume and personal statement, but also, again, helps tailor their education to meet their goals. I have a student who wants to attend University of Michigan, Ann Arbor for medical school, and was very excited when he found out that he could major in English at Henry Ford, go on to major in biology at University of Michigan, and then attend medical school. So again, having that one-on-one is very important, but we also do that through our research-directed study. Every honors student is required to do at least one, but they can do up to 4, even 5 directed studies where they work one-on-one with a faculty member, analyzing and exploring a question or a research topic of their choice. We have a current student who's right now working on extracting dopamine from a native green bean, a Native American green bean, in order to work on Parkinson's disease treatments. I'm blown away that a 20-year-old is thinking in that manner. And we also have students that are, chemistry students who decide, I really want to learn the piano, and this is my chance. I'm going to learn one-on-one, and at the end of the semester, I'm going to perform a piece for my honors colleagues. So we have a lot of support from the community, a lot of support from faculty, a lot of support from the alumni that have gone through the program. And if that's something that sounds like it interests you or interests your students, or a student who might fit within the program, you can check us out at hfcc.edu/honors. You can also email me at honors@hfcc.edu. I'm happy to answer any questions or provide any details that are needed. But again, I thank Dr. Harvell for this opportunity to present to you. This is a culmination of 20 professional years for me, and it really is my dream job. I am happy to be able to provide this for our students. So thank you.
All right, excellent, Dr. Hazlett. I thank you so very, very much. I have a question in the chat for you. It's asking, will the Honors Day be virtual this semester?
Yes, Honors Day will be virtual this semester. Thank you very much, Dr. Nelson, for reminding me about that. April 30th at 1 o'clock, I'll be sending out information to the campus community. But April 30th at 1 o'clock, we will have our virtual Honors Day this year. We have 12 student presenters, as well as transfer partners from Albion College speaking, and Wayne State will also be speaking at our honors day. So that information will come out, I think at the beginning of next week. I'll send out those invitations. So April 30th at 1 p.m. if you are interested. It will be going on from 1 to 4, so you can feel free to drop in at any time. The link will be active for the whole afternoon. So everyone is welcome. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I heard you say, and I know Mr. Claybourne is going to give his talk. I heard you say something about a connection with Central Michigan. I'm sure you're already all over that, but I wanted to just make sure that I share that tomorrow, a representative from Central Michigan will be in one of our virtual sessions from 9:45 until 11 o'clock. And I don't know if you'll have time for that, or if you have that connection already. But if not, I'll make sure that I pass on the information. She told me that she really wanted to work with the folks here at Henry Ford College. And so let me know, and you and I can do all that behind the scenes.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
You were already on my list. I was going to talk to you, but I know that you've been preoccupied with other things lately. So.
I appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And like I said, I'll make sure I do that connection for you or whatnot if you need to. I know that you're already on top of everything, but I just want to make sure that she really wants to work with us here at Henry Ford. So thank you so much. All right, Mr. Claybourne, brother, we thank you again. You are coming back one more time, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. So I will turn this on over to you, and then after Mr. Claybourne goes, we'll open up for a further question and answers from the entire panel. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you.
Good morning again, everyone. My name is Chardin Claybourne. I'm one of the advisors for the Black Male and Queens Focus Group. I'm also full-time faculty at the college, and I direct our learning lab and tutoring services. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today now. Especially thank you if you stuck around from the beginning and listen to my ramblings. So let me share my screen. Okay, so you should be seeing my my PowerPoint now. So hopefully that's coming through. Okay, thank you, Dr. Harville, appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Learning Lab. So this is our kind of a screen capture of our homepage. So we're at www.hfcc.edu/learnlab. I have to HFC's web team. They do phenomenal work, and they have just been so helpful and instrumental in continuing to support us and help make sure that our website, because we know, your web presence is very, very critical, especially we're talking about, clicks and eyeballs and everything and engagement. So I want to give a shout out to our web team who've done just great work, especially Brandy Jackson. I think I saw her name in the end. I think she might be here, so I want to make sure she got a shout out. This is a list of some of our services that we provide. So these in a little bit more detail in the succeeding slides, but we provide tutoring assistance. It's the biggest service, or the most voluminous service that we provide. It's our most important service that we provide. We also provide one-on-one academic assistance that also comes in the form of test preparation. And that's also done presentations. We have study groups and review sessions and supplemental instruction. We provide learning resources and access to computers, printers, copying, and scanning. And of course, because we're in a remote environment, some of these things are not possible right now, but eventually I don't know when that day is going to come, but eventually we will be back on campus, and it will be a great day, and we will be able to, again, provide a wonderful space. You see a small photo there of our space. The students can again frequent. So our tutoring, we offer it both in person and in a online operation. Right now, everything is online. So our HFC tutors offer virtual tutoring appointments and virtual walk-in tutoring for a variety of subjects, and I'll show you that in an upcoming slide. But that allows students to be proactive and schedule an appointment, but also have a degree of flexibility, whereas if they recognize, oh, I need some help right now, I didn't necessarily plan for it, they may still be able to get that assistance that they need. Some of our tutoring actually still takes place on site at the college in face-to-face. Some of our programming, some of our, pardon me, some of our courses are still face-to-face. And so in some of those cases, we have tutors who are supporting those courses, and that's mostly in our CTE programs, our career and technical education programs. We also offer tutoring via NetTutor. So that is a service that we have purchased for HFCC students to use. And that helps with students' access to tutoring when we may not have a tutor available for that subject, or we may not have tutoring available on that day or time. So for many subjects, NetTutor is 24/7, 365, and that gives our students the flexibility that they require, especially, this pandemic has taught me a lot, and, I can't say I knew that a lot of our students do a lot of their work well later into the night. They may start things up at 10 or 11 and go through the night. Well, it's helpful to have some support for them even during those when they're burning the midnight oil and things like that. So alongside that, our tutoring currently is provided solely by either full-time faculty. HFC is great in that way that we have systems in place where we're able to have some full-time faculty who provide tutoring support. We also have some of our adjunct or part-time faculty who tutor with us. We also have hired what we term as professional tutors. So individuals who may not be working in other capacities at the college, but who have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to provide tutoring support for our students. And in the past, when we were on campus, we were the largest employer of student workers at HFC. Because of the pandemic and just the logistics and things of that nature, it's been difficult to, and it's been a decision to not employ student workers at this time. But I can't wait. I can't wait until we can get back face-to-face and return to being able to have students helping students, because that peer learning support is so important, so critical, so pivotal, so important for the engagement. And it's kind of apt that I'm following Dr. Hazlett's presentation of honors, because we would have a ton of honor students every semester who would utilize the Learning Lab to complete their honors program requirement of community service. And that was always a great boon for us. And I'm hoping that we can get back to that just as soon as we can get back to some sense of normalcy after the pandemic. We have a handle on it. This is a list of some of the courses that we support with tutoring. And as you can see, it's not exhaustive, but it does give you a sense of a lot of the courses that we have supported. So we try to cover a nice range, and even some of the courses that you may not see here, we still may have supported in the past, and the limitations of space and my memory and things of that nature are demonstrated here. But we also have an even longer list of courses that are supported through NetTutor. So between the two services, what we're able to offer through our tutors, our HFC tutors, and the service, I mean, we've got a lot of the courses that HFC students will be taking. We have some support available for them. With academic assistance, we provide workshops for students. 3 of the major areas that we provide workshops in are for students who are or seeking admission to the nursing program at HFC. They have to take and pass the nursing admission test. And so my colleague, Mr. Sam Bazzi, he's our math department liaison. I'll talk a little bit about him later on. And we provide support for students who are preparing to take the nursing admissions test, because it can be a stressful, anytime there's a high stakes exam, an objective test, it's going to cause students' anxiety levels to just heighten. And so we do this several times a semester to help them as they're getting ready to sit for that test. We also have worked really closely in partnership with the CHAMPS program through HFC Athletics, and you'll get to hear from our Director of Athletics, Rochelle Taylor, later on today. But we've been able to give some great presentations and have some great interactions with our student athletes, putting an emphasis on the student part of student athletes, because that piece, really solid in order to have that secondary piece stay focused. So we've helped them on a lot of different topics, time management and test taking and study strategies and things of that nature. Also, with course placement, we've offered workshops for students who are going to take or retake their placement exam at the college so that they can be placed into the appropriate English course or math course. And so these are an example of some of the workshops that we've presented. I also work very closely with students, any small groups or individually with students who are looking for assistance with their learning strategies, their study skills, so to speak. A lot of students come to college just unaware of what it takes to be successful academically. And I found that just helping them understand that piece and cluing them in to just a few things that they can do differently can make all the difference and help them be a lot more academically successful. And when the students feel academically successful, a lot of times that'll help some of the other things to fall into place. But I work closely with a lot of students on those types of strategies to help them be successful in that way. We've worked with our partners in the English Language Institute, and back in September 2019, when we were still on campus in the before times, we had conversation circles, and this was a great partnership, and it provided a space for our students who are second language learners, where English is their second language, and they're going through the ELL, to have a chance to just talk and practice in a non-threatening, safe environment. They can practice listening and speaking. And I know that has moved online, so that's really great. And I'm hopeful that when this will again be a partnership that we can rekindle. I talked a little bit about, I mentioned my friend, my colleague, Mr. Sam Bazzi, who's a full-time faculty member in the math department, and he's our liaison. And he has helped me tremendously with training and getting our math tutors up to speed. If I'm interviewing someone from outside of the college for a math position, he always is there and sits in and helps me see if they can really do the job, because that's our students who need math help, they really can be sticklers, and if you're not good, I'm going to hear about it. So he helps to vet and train those tutors, but especially our student tutors. He's been just phenomenal with those students. He also provides help with math test preparation for the NAT, the nursing admission test, and he's been facilitating a lot of targeted math workshops throughout the semester. At one point, it was more of a final exam focused workshop, but now we've moved that back, and he's been doing workshops throughout the semester, especially during this online, this virtual learning, because our students need even more help. With supplemental instruction and kind of targeted study groups, you see the description of what SI is, and where tutoring is more of a one-on-one SI model, and there's a lot of different flavors of SI, is targeted at courses that have historically been difficult for students to pass or have success in. And over the years, we've been able to partner with several faculty members. I'll give a shout out to Dr. Ramad Chidambaram, who, like every semester for the past few years, she's asked me if we could have some SI supplemental instruction or some kind of study group for her calculus class, and the research shows that it helps. It helps students who participate in these type of activities tend to do better than their counterparts, usually like a half or a full letter grade better. So this is one of those areas that I'm hoping that we'll be able to expand more in the future, but I've been happy that we've been able to do at least something with that through the Learning Lab and our partnerships with our faculty colleagues. Some of the outreach that we do, even virtually, we're still providing classroom visitations. When we were on campus, we have lab associates and myself, we would go to classes or go to departments and provide updates and overviews to our students and our colleagues about what we do, how we can partner with them. But we're still doing it virtually now. So that's a hint to any of my colleagues who are on the call now, still let us know and we'll be there. Likewise, we would also invite visitors to come into our space. And sometimes they would come unannounced, and we're better when we're prepared, but we're still great, even if we didn't know that you were coming until right that moment. And we would give tours of the lab and show our visitors and our guests what we have to offer and how we can be of service and support to our HFC students. Right now, our tours are kind of touring our website, which is not quite the same in this virtual environment. And also when we were on campus, we would provide tons of marketing materials. So again, I got to give a shout out to our graphic designers, Patty Sekalitis and Ashley Martin. I think I got those names right, who helped design our marketing materials and keep those fresh and up to date so that we can give those to our students and to our faculty who can provide them in their classes. So again, just a quick summation, even though we're not on campus, we're still here. We're still here to support all of our students' needs in the best ways that we can. We've been providing all of our tutoring via Microsoft Teams. Students can schedule appointments. We have some how-to videos and some different information that we have to instruct students on how to go about doing these things. We have a way for students to request information from us, and we've been still handling a lot of student requests even during this online and virtual. So there was that moment when we first transitioned that was a little tough, but we've had steady visitations and steady activity. So we're glad that we're still here to help. And we have different online resources as well to support them in their virtual learning space. And below is, again, our contact information. It says my internet connection is unstable, so I'm hoping that people are still hearing. Contact information again. Of course, we're not on campus right now, but if we were, that's where you would find us. We're the only HFC department on the second floor of the building, the A building. We share space with our colleagues from the Dearborn Public Schools Early College. They're sharing space with us, but we're the only HFC department in that space. And if you ever need to contact me or have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, please feel free to contact me. That is my office phone, but I am getting voicemails. So if you call, just leave a voicemail message and I'll respond. I'll probably call you back from a 619 number because that was the only number I could get through Google Voice by the time I thought, hey, I need to have a different number. So it won't be a 313, it'll be a 619. But please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm going to stop sharing now. And I think there was a couple of questions in the comments, so I'll see. Mr. Butler, Sean Butler, should adjuncts interested in providing tutoring service contact me directly? Yes, just email me, just contact me directly, and that's fine. I can answer any questions that you might have. Which do students use more, HFC tutors or net tutor? Interesting question. More volume through net tutor, just because net tutor there's more availability through net tutor, but our HFC tutors do great work and get consistent student visits. And a lot of times what will happen is students will get hooked. They'll get hooked on a tutor and an HFC tutor, and then they'll keep coming and stay with that tutor. Just yesterday, one of my ESL students was telling me how she missed the face-to-face conversations. Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to that, Roger. I agree with you. We need to do whatever we can to make sure our students having that engagement and that connection. Will the online tutoring continue after we return to campus? Yes, yes. I think that, that genie is out of the bottle. I think for a lot of our services, and I'm not just talking about the Learning Lab, there's going to continue to be some kind of online component, even when we return to face-to-face. And I can definitely state that there will always, at least as long as I'm with the Learning Lab, there will always be some kind of online component for tutoring moving forward. I think that's it. Do I have a lab tour video? We don't have a lab tour video right now. We do have a short overview video. It's a Powtoons that we can share with you, but we don't have like a, if you're talking about like a walkthrough of the space video, we don't have anything like that. And there was one more here. Thank you again. What ways are you gathering student voice? I'm not sure I understand that question, and I know I'm probably at time, but if Rondo Cooper, if you want to contact me, let me know, and maybe we can have a chat and I can try to answer your question offline. So thank you, everyone, because I know we're probably at time. I want to turn it back over to Dr. Harvell.
Brother, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I think I was off mute and I dropped my coffee. I apologize. I'm sure you all just heard me. I hope I didn't say anything too improper. I'm sitting here and I knocked my coffee over. So I apologize. I was off of mute, I think. So again, thank you all for your time, brother. Thank you for such a wonderful talk. I want to thank Dr. Perry, Dr. Hazlett, and Miss Fluker as well for your talk. Again, we have some magnificent programs here at Henry Ford. Are there any other questions that anyone has for our four speakers? And again, I want to apologize, knocking over my coffee, and I broke my favorite mug, and so I'm not happy about that at all either. So please forgive me. I'm just glad I didn't say what I normally would say, and so because I'm sure this is being recorded. So I'm glad I didn't say what I would normally have said. So again, I appreciate you all. Any other questions? And we have before we open up, and we're going to be moving forward to Professor Moore's talk. Are there any other questions for, again, Dr. Perry? We thank you so much. Dr. Hazlett, thank you. Mr. Claybourne, Ms. Fluker, thank you all so much for your magnificent work and for being here with us. Any other questions? Anyone? We're good? We're good? All right. My favorite coffee mug is broken, but we're going to continue to move forward. All right.